Hello, 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 everybody. This is Mary with Scrapbooking, an independent advisor for creative memories. And today I wanted to go over sketches with you because sketches are something that are a really useful tool. They're generally free, and but they can also be intimidating. They can intimidate people who are using sketches for the first time. And the reason they can be intimidating is because they can include a lot of different aspects to give you variety or inspiration. But some folks feel like you have to copy it exactly. And so I want to clarify right off the bat that that is not what a sketch is. A sketch is not something where you are required to complete the sketch exactly how it's laid out. Doesn't mean that you can't. If you like every element on that sketch, definitely go for it. Add every element to your page. But a sketch, if you think about any kind of animated movie or marketers who come up with ad slogans, or an architect who draws out what a house should look like, those are all start with sketches, right? They all start with a sketch, an idea of what something is supposed to be. Now, over time, that sketch can change, that can be modified, that can be enhanced, that can be, certain things can be taken away from it because, like maybe an architect makes this drawing, but then they don't have money to implement that piece into the home. So, or they can't get the supplies to do it, or, whatever the case is. So that said, these sketches are kind of that same thing. They are an idea of what your page could look like. They're meant to be inspiration. They're meant to help you when you're stuck. They are offered as challenges to challenge people to try something new with your page. And so when you look at these, please don't be intimidated. Please just look at them as a way of, hey, that would be a cool little idea. Or, oh, I like how they did that. I want to try that for my page, related to this. That's what they're for. So just to go through what sketches are, what some of them look like, and then how you read a sketch. And then I'm going to do a couple of pages where I use a couple of these sketch ideas, and maybe I follow them exactly, and maybe I alter them a little bit. And then at the end of the video, I'll have a few of the sketches available for you to see at the end, where you can maybe use those in your pages as you're creating your scrapbooks. So for instance, this booklet has this sketch here, and then it has an idea of what that page could look like if you use the different colors and the different elements that they have listed here, just to show you how different your actual page might look from the actual sketch. So not all sketches are going to be like this. Most sketches are going to have a sketch and then an idea of what it will look like, but sometimes you won't get that. Sometimes it'll just be this sketch, and you kind of have to figure out what you want to use for that. Okay, these three are three independent sketches for one-page layouts. When you get a scrapbook sketch booklet from Creative Memories, you're going to get this key here that kind of explains to you how to read a sketch. So I'll go over that with you really quick, just so that you're aware of what we're looking at when we're looking at these sketches. So anything that's these dark rectangular boxes that you see in these sketches, that means that's the photo. That's what that is trying to represent, is that that's your photo. Now, just because they're rectangles, it doesn't mean that you can't cut your photos, or your mats for that matter, into circles or ovals or hearts, or make them shorter or bigger. If this is a square, maybe 4x4 photo, Maybe you don't want it 4x4. Maybe you want that 4x6, or maybe you want that to be a journaling square. Okay, you can do that. These different color square and rectangles, if you can see, I'm not sure if it's close enough that you can see, but you'll see the dark square is your photo, and then the square behind it is your mat. Okay, that's what these are. And the different colors just represent that you would have different color paper, different color cardstock, designer paper and cardstock. And so if it's all the same color behind, the sketch is saying that it's all going to be one color mat. That doesn't mean you can't change that and have patterned paper or 2 or 3 different colors behind your photos. It's whatever you want to do. These shapes just represent like embellishments, stickers, die cuts, things like that you would put on your page. So as you can see here, they've got a larger icon shape with a smaller one in front of it. That's like saying put a die cut with a sticker, or maybe overlap or layer your die cuts, or maybe put a couple of stickers there. This is the same thing. You know, so that's what this is like your different embellishments or stickers. It doesn't mean that you have to put a flower there. It doesn't mean that you have to put a cloud shape. You know, these are just shapes to give you that idea of what they are. They can be anything, right? If you're doing Christmas, that could be a die cut of a stocking, and this could be stickers of toys, you know. Then you have these here. So anytime you see this scalloped edge, this straight edge, or even like this one where you have little circles, that's representing the fact that you are going to have some kind of border, whether that be a border sticker, whether that be a border that you punched out with our border punches, whether it be with your border maker system cartridges. Like I said, it could be your stickers. It could be even individual punches laid out in a line if you wanted to do it that way. But that's the idea there, is that anytime you see that, you're looking at some kind of border. Okay. And then these different shades of gray just mean that those are the different colors. So you can see, like with embellishments and the borders and the mats and the background paper and all that, they're different shades of gray. And that's just meaning that that's, you know, this same color gray here is going to be the same as that gray embellishment here, whereas this is maybe going to be a different color or a different shade. They can all be the same colors and just different shades of that same color. They can be all different colors. They can be patterned paper, whatever you want it to be. Anytime that you see this title written out is typically that you're going to have a title there. You're going to have either lettering, die cut letters, sticker letters. You can write it with a marker, but you're putting a title. Now, not all of my pages have titles. So sometimes when I see that, I just omit that because I don't need a title on that page. That's okay. You can add it. Even if I have this sketch here that doesn't have a title, doesn't mean I can't put a title here in the triangles. It doesn't mean that I can't put it here on this strip. Okay. So just be aware that that's what you see when you're seeing that word title. It's saying that you want to put some kind of title on that page. But again, it's just a sketch. So it is whatever you want to do to lay out your page. You can omit pieces. You can add pieces that aren't there. You can rotate the sketch. You can turn things around. Just because this border is going this way doesn't mean I can't put it up the side. Doesn't mean I can't put it on this strip here. You know, there's lots of different things that you can do. And then these journal. So anytime that you see these lines, that just means that you're leaving that space open for journaling. If you have a lot more journaling to put on the page, such as, you know, like this one, maybe just omit this last picture here and make that all journaling. You could have no journaling for your page. Your journaling might be on the opposite page. So just be aware that that's what those lines mean, that you're trying to journal on that page and you're leaving room in the sketch so that you have space to journal. Okay, that's how you read a sketch. So just to kind of flip through here again, here is an idea of a sketch. And here is an idea of what that page could lay out. So here you see that they've got 1, 2, 3 layers of borders here. This is just a strip cut with a decorative cut. Then they've got this other one. That could be a separate piece that's layered behind it, cut the same way as the first one. That could be a sticker border. That's what it's showing here as a border. Doesn't mean that you can't double layer your paper. And then this is our grass border. Okay, then they've got another border up here, as you can see in the sketch. They've got their title, but they've put the title here in the middle instead of at the top. They've got little flags here, but it doesn't mean that you have to have flags. You could just have a sticker there. You could have nothing there. And then they've got their pictures laid out with mats behind just this one. You could put mats behind all of them. You could put mats behind none of them. And then you have this background sheet. So again, this is a different shade of these, so you're seeing that it's different. You can have that, or that can simply be the back of, the page that you're putting it on. It doesn't have to be a background color. Okay, so just to give you an idea, again, how to read them, how to adjust them, how to use them to really inspire you, but do what you want to do with the page. Then we have another sketch with lots of different elements, and then what that page would look like. This page for me is just a little too busy, so maybe I don't have as many embellishments here. Maybe I don't put the embellishment here. Maybe I just put a title on there and don't put the extra embellishments. Maybe this is great, and it's going to work out perfect for what we're doing. So you just use it however you want. Here's another sketch and another idea of what the page would look like. Here we go again, another sketch, another idea of what the page would look like. This does not mean that that needs to be a sun. That could be one big shape. That could be nothing. You might not have anything there. Another sketch, another idea of what the completed page would look like. Then you have these sketches. These are border sketches. So whenever you see a strip like this, I'm going to go back for just a quick second. Anytime you see just a square, this is a one-page single layout. Doesn't mean you can't copy that and make a two-page layout. Doesn't mean you can't just put a couple elements on the other page to tie it together and make a two-page layout. This is a two-page layout because you see that it's a rectangle, but it's large like pages, and it's got this line going down the middle. That tells you that it's a two-page layout. This is meant so that when you open your book, those two pages lay flat and they are together. So you're looking at two pages at a time, similar to this. When you open a book, you've got two pages. And two pages tie together to put more pictures on there that you couldn't fit maybe on one page. Okay. And then we have, like I said, the border sketches. So when it's a long rectangle like this, there's no line in the middle and it doesn't look like it's got pictures on it. This is a border. Now you could do this border on all four sides of your page. You could do it on just the top or just the bottom or just a side. You could duplicate it and make it the top and bottom. So however you want to do your borders, you can do this as well. But these are just sketches too. So you've got this strip in the background. You've got a different sheet underneath it. You've got two borders, maybe they're overlapping. So here you've got this scalloped wave border, and then you've got the sailboat border, and so that's how they've overlaid it here. And then you've got your embellishment. That embellishment happens to have a title on it, whereas this doesn't say title. So you can do that. You can alter things. So just to give you an idea, like I said, sketches are really just meant to inspire you. They are just meant to be ideas to get you going. They are not meant that you have to do exactly the same measurement and the same exact punch and the same exact colors. You can, but you don't have to. So I just want to reiterate that and reinforce the fact that sketches are just inspiration. This is a sketch from the last one of our challenges that Creative Memories does every month on their virtual crop Facebook page. They give you sketches like this, and then you get to see ideas from all over the world from people that have interpreted this sketch and did different pages off of this one sketch. And so there are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of different ways that this can be laid out, because you can pick different colors, you can pick different shapes for your photos, you can pick different embellishments, you can rotate it, you can turn it around, you can eliminate stuff, you can add more stuff, you know, so there's a lot of different ways that sketches can be interpreted. And the challenges each month on that crop page are so great, because you really get inspired by everybody else's creations as well. And then this is just another book, again, a sketch with the drawing. But this booklet, the reason I wanted to show you this is because with each sketch, they are giving you an easy beginner sketch, an intermediate, so you're a little bit more comfortable with scrapbooking, and so now you can add a few more elements. So you can see the blue is what they've added to this beginner element to make it an intermediate one. And then you have the advanced, where they've added even more elements with that orange. And so this is just an easy way to show you that if this sketch is too busy for you, or it's too advanced, or you're not sure you can do that, eliminate pieces. And then you come up with this sketch. All of these different variations came off the same sketch. Okay. So I think we've talked enough about sketches. Here again, very basic border sketch, intermediate, advanced, and then what that looks like when they've used all of these different elements. But now that we've kind of talked about sketches, I'm going to do this border sketch here. What I'm going to do is eliminate this title. I don't want the title on my border. I'm going to put my title somewhere else on my page. I may not even have a title. And then I'm going to show you just a little bit different. I'm not going to do circles. I'm going to do some hearts, because I'm doing a wedding page. So I want it to match the colors of my friend's wedding, as well as be wedding related, right? So I'm going to do hearts instead of circles. And then I'm going to do this page as well. And it's also going to be wedding themed. Instead of doing the 2 triangles, I'm going to do 1 triangle of each of their 2 colors. And then I'm going to do the border in a different color. So I'm going to show you just very quickly how to do this layout, but omitting a couple of things and changing it around a little bit. And then I'm going to do this border on another page and just show you how that works. So just using these sketches for inspiration. Okay, I have my page. And let's start with our border. Okay. My border, I want the gray in the middle, and then I want the blue and the pink to be the other pieces. Okay. So I'm getting my sketch where I can see it easily, just so I can refer to it. It doesn't mean I have to follow it exactly. Okay, and this one I'm going to use a decorative cut. I'll use the Victorian one, I think. And this is my 12-inch trimmer. I'm going to zoom out. Yeah, you can see the whole thing. I just want to make sure I didn't need to zoom out there. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. And I'm just going to make sure that my 12-inch strip of my gray is a little bit bigger than my pink, but smaller than my blue. So I'm going to go with 1.5 on this. And actually, I'm going to go a little bit bigger because I'm going to use my punches for my pink. So this is 1.5. So I'm going to go with probably 2 inches on here. And I'm going to cut the edge first, so that I get that nice decorative cut instead of a straight cut. Now I cut right on the edge. I could have given myself a little more room and maybe even created another border for another page if I'd have done that. Okay. And then we're going to go to 2 inches. When you have a decorative cut, you just want to make sure either the points are lined up or that the edge underneath your cut is right over it. You know, however you want to cut that and make it work for you. Okay. And then I'm going to go a little bit smaller with my pink. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do my straight edge, just like the sketch actually showed. Okay, and then I'm going to go, that one was 2 inches, so I'm going to go at like 1 3/4 so that I've got enough for my punch. And then I'm going to take my blue, and I'm going to go a little bit bigger, so I'm going to do this one about 2.5 inches. Okay. And now I'm going to take my strip and I'm going to make my punches of my hearts. And if you're not sure where it's going to line up, you can always turn this around so that you can see where that's cutting. Okay. And then I'm going to slide this out so that I can see where that heart punched, so that I know where I want to punch again. So I'm using just the little grooves here that show me where that punch is happening. Okay, I could also, to make it easy, say that I want my opening here to match up with my small one, and then that way they will be evenly spaced. So if I do that, then they'll be evenly spaced every time. But I don't want to push down because it will push both my little and my big one, which won't make much difference because that'll go right through, so I can actually do that. Okay, now mine did not line up exactly how I wanted it to, so I might, you know, if I wanted to, I could try again and do a different strip and just even that out. I could have used my centering ruler to make little edges there to see where I would have punched it at. There's lots of different ways you can do that. The other thing is I could just use these that I punched, and I could, you know, switch things around, and I could put my pink hearts on a blue strip and put the blue on top and the pink behind it. You know, so there's different ways that you can fix those kind of things. I mean, this is scrap, you know, scrap happens and we just fix it. That's what we do. So I could even put, you know, the date here that they got married, and that would kind of make this off center work for me. You know, I could put a heart sticker there and just kind of fix that mistake. Okay. Get these out of my way real quick. Okay, and now I'm just going to adhere the different pieces where I want them. It's a little cold in here, so my tape runner wants to stick. Not, there we go. It's coming out a little bit better now. Okay, so I'm going to adhere that on top of my blue. And again, I could use my centering ruler to make sure that this is right in the center, but that looks good to me. Okay. I could even fill in those with my title. I could, you know, put stickers in there. I could do whatever I wanted to there. I can put it all the way at the edge of my paper or my page. I can put it down a little bit with a title above it. I could put it right in the middle and put pictures above and below. I could do it here. I could copy this again and put another one throughout. So now you can see how different this looks, right? So this is the sketch, and while I've done the decorative cut and I've layered it and everything like that, it looks a little bit different because I haven't added all these embellishments because maybe I'm going to put a title in there. So that's just real quick how I did that border using that sketch. Okay. And then, like I said, I can sit there and say, I'm going to put a sticker here at the end, you know, so I could even go this way with it and put that there at the top, right? And that just kind of fixed that little error that I made by not spacing them out all the way to the end. So makes it look like I meant to do that. That's why I love scrapbooking. You can fix pretty much any mistake you make. Okay, so now with our page sketch, again, I'm going to do this layout here, but instead of two different colors, I'm going to do one color. And I'm not going to have this background color. I'm going to leave that as my page. Doesn't mean I can't add a border along the edge, but I'm not going to. All right, so for this one, I'm going to need that gray again. And I'm going to use my border punch to make this infinity heart. And so I'm just going to line that up to start. Punch down. Match that up at the end here. That one just had a little bit of an edge to it, so I'm just going to take that off real quick. Okay, and I'm going to put that aside until I get ready for it. And then I'm going to use that gray as well to make some of my mats. Okay, so to do my mats, I am actually going to do not the square mats like are on the page. I'm going to do a heart mat with some circles. So I'm going to take my cutting system here, and I want to make sure that if I want to do the picture as a heart, then I need to have a bigger blade so that my mat is bigger than my picture, and I can still use this same heart to do my picture. I could also use the smaller heart to do my picture and use the closest blade around this larger heart to do my mat. And I think that's what I'm going to do because none of the pictures I believe are that big that I have. Okay, so I'm going to take my blade. Put those grooves in, make sure that they're in where they need to be. is one of my mats. I'm going to put that one in the middle. And then I'm going to make, maybe I'm going to do ovals. Okay, and so here I'm going to do them a little bit bigger. I use my blue blade for these. Make sure that I have plenty of room where my blade's going to be, that I'm not going to go over that, because I don't want to have it not give me that actual oval. Okay. I've got my oval. And then it's okay that my paper's moving as long as my template isn't moving. Just so, in case any of you have that cutting system and you're going, whoa, you know, just know as long as my template is not moving, then it's okay. Okay. So now I have my mats, and then I want my triangles. So to do my triangles, I'm going to make a 4-inch square. And so it's 4 by 4. Okay. And then I'm going to also make smaller one, because I'm going to adjust it even more. See, sometimes when you're looking at a sketch, sometimes when you're actually cutting the pieces or putting them together, you look at it and go, oh wait, I want to do this, or I want to take off that. And so that's okay. You can do that. You can change it around as much as you want until the page is done. So to make my triangles, I've made my squares. I'm going to match it up on my 45-degree angle. Make sure those points are on my cutting line. Now I have little triangles, and I'm about to get my big triangles. Okay, so I have all my pieces that I want, and now I'm going to lay them out on my page. Okay, I only need 2, so these are going to go in my bin to use again on another page, because I like to have pre-cut triangles all the time. And if I wanted to layer these, you know, together up in one corner and do the border just along there, or do the border down here with no triangles and put my 2 triangles up here, I can do that. You can move things around. You can do whatever you want. I could do them on the side and do that gray the gray border all the way down like this. So I could have it like that, and then I could have that border again over here. Okay, still using that sketch, but I've laid it out a little bit differently. Okay. I'm going to put these in this side. Now, if I put my heart here, right, maybe I needed this space up here, so maybe I don't have my triangles in the 2 opposite corners. Maybe I put them down here and do it like that. Okay, I could do it that way too. Okay, I could do a lot of different things with this. And then once I get my actual pictures, I'll cut them and put them on these mats. But at least the page will be completed. If you leave this up, sometimes your tape gets a little dry, and so it may not stick as well. So when you're not using it, you want to keep that piece down. So the gray was the color of their suits, pink and blue were their colors. So now I can take this border that I had made, and I can either cut it so that it lays on top of the blue, or I can cut it so that it lays out here. And so let's see, where do I need this? So my little multi-purpose tool, what I'm going to do is put this on here. And then I'm going to just score it right here so that I know where I'm cutting on the edge of that paper or on the page, so that when I line it up on my trimmer, I know exactly where I need to cut. Okay, and that's not going to give me quite enough to do what I want to do over here. So let's see if that gives me enough. That does. Okay, so I need to actually cut it right here. Otherwise, I'd need to make another border. And I can do that too, but this will just make it really easy to cut my border. Okay. So just find that little score mark. And I'm going to line that score mark up with the edge of my blade. Okay. Now, looking at this, I just thought of something else I want to do now. So, and this is how sketches work. You know, they just go different. You know, as you see your page, you maybe want it to have more, or you want it to be less, or I just want to see how big my border was so that I make sure that I cut my strips the same way here. Okay, so I've just cut my strips, because now what I want to do is put that there at the edge. And see, I don't have enough to go off the edge. Do I have it enough down here? I have enough of the pink. Don't have quite enough of the blue. So I'm going to cut a little bit bigger strip there. And I think that was 1.5, 1.25. And I can use that multi-purpose tool again here and cut. Sometimes I even just lay it on the page and then I use my trimmer and go right up against it and just cut the edge off. That way I know that I'm completely even with my page. But I like to have the adhesive on the back when I cut these, just so that I make sure that I'm not cutting the wrong side and then I go to put it down and it's wrong, you know. But Okay, so it can go like this. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on here. And you can use the glue adhesive pin. You can use the tape runner if you're really good at just getting a tiny bit out. You could use the repositionable tape for these more intricate designs. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Get it to where my edge is at least off the edge there. And I'm just using the edge of my paper, my page here, to kind of see where to make those marks. And I take those squares and line them up here. So the more elaborate you make your pages, the more time it's going to take to make your pages. But, you know, it just depends on how you want to lay them out and how you want to do them. Adhesive on there. Okay, and if you get a little bit too much adhesive on those smaller parts, just fold that back over with your multi-purpose tool. That way it doesn't show through the cuts on the punch. Now these punches, once I cut them, because I cut them off of one punch, one full 12-inch punch, they didn't go exactly to my edge. Now I could have punched two and then just trimmed them up so that I could have it go all the way to the edge, or I can leave it how it is. Depends on how I like it. I could add a sticker there to kind of cover it up. It just depends on what you want for your page. But now that page is done. If I wanted to add something like I had wedding bells from earlier, I could put the embellishments here in the corners. I could put them throughout the page like this. I could connect them together like that. So when I'm looking at my sketch, right, it shows that there's embellishments on the borders. It shows there's embellishments on these two photos. So again, I can do it that way. I can do it this way. Either way, this is the sketch and this is my completed page. So you can kind of see the difference, but you can also see the similarities. And now there's plenty of room for more journaling if I wanted to put more journaling in there. So that is reading a sketch and how to use sketches to complete your pages. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you do and you want to see other videos like this where I show you different techniques or how to do different pages and use different tools, please like, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and you'll know when new videos pop up. And have a scrap happy day. Thanks for watching.